The Nimble with Numbers team presents Chalked Blocked with Bo Big Time McBrayer.
I gotta know what a $5 shake tastes like.
That's hot. That's hot.
I want winner, Bo. You don't know diddly.
And his partner, Scott Stag Simpson.
Do you know who I am?
Trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nuts.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
I gotta catch a glimpse of these warlocks. Let's make a move. Let's make a move. Let's make a move.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to Chalk Blocked, the world's sexiest DFS show for now. This is also a pair of guys that are either so insignificant or so beloved that we did not make the 1,200, 1,300 comment Reddit thread on everybody's least favorite fantasy analysts. Neither one of us were in there. I perused, I searched my name. Neither Scott nor I have shown up in that gigantic Reddit thread about everybody's least favorite fantasy analysts, which means we're either completely 100% beloved or they don't know who the hell we are, which either way I'm cool with. Reddit is a cesspool. It's toxic as hell, makes Facebook look normal. But at the same time, we have fans. We got to have fans out there that either love us so much that they keep watching or they hate us so much that they're waiting for us to trip up. I guess we're going to have to keep working at it, Scott. Week 3, let's go.
I'm putting the word out right now on the YouTube. That's where we're transitioning. And listen, we love Twitter. Twitter's the place to be when it comes to
RAP Periscope, though.
Yeah, tweets and all those kind of quick meme interactions and nice stats and stuff. But if you want to build an actual following, it's got to be on YouTube, and we're working on it. We're grinding it out. We're getting 50 views.
Please like and subscribe.
It really makes a big difference.
All your friends and family members, even if they don't like professional football or even DFS, or they don't give a crap about anything, they should still watch us because we're awesome.
We're entertaining. We're the world's sexiest DFS show for now. And we're also going to help you win money. Like last week, we told you if you wanted to win the Millie Maker, you play to you stack them up with his wide receivers, particularly Tyreek Hill, and then you just print the money. We both were talking about that. And we talked about how that game was going to be over. So if you had a lot of money to bet, you should have.
My exact words were run to the sports book and bet as much as you can pallet on the over. And guess what, guys? 42 to 35 was the one team out would hit the over by themselves.
I don't listen. Every game we don't say that. We don't say that about every. We're not telling you we got a 99-0 record. We give you everything we're gonna. No. We give you the ones that we know are going to be the crushers. So
and we're doing it for fucking free.
Totally. Bo McBrayer is like the best free resource in the history of the fantasy football DFS internet world. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to use him and then also a paid resource, one that you can pay for, one that we use every week. It's Run the Sims. We love Justin Freeman.
Best money ever spent for DFS. Oh my God.
Great value. It's a great value.
I'm a member and subscriber of multiple DFS sites.
Same.
This one might be my favorite. This is just so user-friendly. The colors are beautiful. The information is useful.
Build stats.
It's real stuff. Even just the leverage tool. It's just know what optimal leverage looks like based on the lineups that are being submitted right now. Right. Run the Sims, proud partner, proud as ever after last week. They were on that Baltimore-Miami game like stink on a monkey. So were we. We didn't need them to confirm our bias, but we really appreciated seeing that it was going to be an underutilized stack. And just like Scott said last week, a Millie Maker winner. It really was.
Yeah. And listen, Bo and I, we're going to give you these little tidbits. We're not making stuff up either. We don't know what's going to happen. But what we've done is we've looked at the matchups. We use PFF. We use other rankings and cornerback tools to look at who's going to be on the actual field. And we had last week was 2 rookies against Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is one of the best wide receivers in our era in the last 10 years. So please just keep it together, people. All right, we're not.
Yeah, we also know ball pretty well. Like this isn't just an analytics show. We're especially me. I'm a tape grinder. I watch a ton of tape.
We mirror reality.
Yeah. I've been in and around football teams since I was 9 years old. It's from the coaching perspective, from the scouting perspective, from the tape evaluation perspective. I've been doing it a long time. Scott's been doing this a long time. Just because we're not well known doesn't mean we don't know our shit. Let's go. Slate walk on the slate walk. Let's win some fucking money this week. You like that? You like that?
Yeah. It is true. Well, here's a game that we're going to start with because I think it's on the slate walk, the first game, but also one of the best games. Let's talk about your best play in this game. Is it Justin Jefferson or is it DeAndre Swift?
You know the answer. Give the audience the answer.
For you, it's DeAndre Swift all day, every day.
Every fucking week.
Swifty. We're going to call you a
If he's on the field, like, again, quote from last –
just say it.
Quote, I am a Swifty. Taylor and DeAndre, big fans of both. Swifts are okay in my book. But my exactly what I said last week is if DeAndre Swift is on the field, I am playing him in DFS because he's always underpriced on DraftKings. 7,000 flat last week. Smash, even though he was limited, quote unquote limited to half as many snaps as before, he still had 100 yards and a touchdown and was still
another one. He just got chased down at the end by the DB. So he's
running on a bum ankle all week last week and still hits it for us. Still hits value on half the snaps. And now he's stronger. Everybody's saying he looks great this week. And he's going up against Minnesota front seven that's getting moved off the football. Something serious. And the Lions' offensive line's really good. I think it's going to be more of the same for DeAndre Swift, even a little bit more passing involvement than previous weeks because I do expect the Vikings to bounce back from their embarrassing showing against Philly. I do expect the Vikings to get a lead in this game. And for DeAndre Swift, when it's neutral script to get the rushing yards, and when it's a negative script for him to get tons more looks in the passing game, and putting him in space is just art. Like just watching DeAndre Swift play football, it's all like watching Nick Chubb play football. They're just majestic, pure runners that have so much skill and just God-given ability as well. It's just fun to watch football games like that with players that are special. DeAndre Swift is special.
I'll give you something else that's special is that him and Amon-Ra St. Brown are on the same team. They're cost the same amount this week, $7,200. One, Amon-Ra is 17% rostered, and then DeAndre is 6%. That's leverage. That is a leverage.
So he's underpriced and leverage. I love it.
Undervalued and under rostered. So it's like a game of a perfect storm with this. So this is the thing we talked about last week. That play Tua, play Tyreek, play DeAndre Swift.
Play Lamar Jackson, play Rashad Bateman and Mark Andrews. Like I had so many Ravens double stacks run back with what I'd said was if you have a double stack on the Ravens, then you can play 2 run backs and do a mega game stack with the Dolphins. Both guys are one or the other. You hit either way. Like these guys are both smashing, and it's for the Ravens, for all those teams like that, for the Vikings, especially having the narrower route tree this year with Thielen taking a step back and Osborne not in the swing of things yet. Irv Smith has been good, like I predicted in the preseason, but Justin Jefferson he's pissed off right now. Can you imagine how pissed off Justin Jefferson is? Where he goes nuclear in week 1 and then Darius Slay locks him down, which, I mean, Darius Slay is a great corner. But success for Darius Slay in that game was to cut Jefferson's production in half, and he did even better than that. So that's, for me, that I think Jefferson's pissed off that he got locked down last week, and Kirk Cousins probably never gets pissed about anything because he's Kirk Cousins, but I'm sure he's really disappointed in his performance on Sunday night.
He could improve. Primetime Kirk is not a good Kirk.
It's awful. It's so bad.
But he's still 9% rostered, so people are going back to him at 6,700.
Oh yeah.
If you want to be a little bit differentiated, though, you could go down to Jared Goff, right? And so what I like about this tool here when you build the stacks, go in, you put your quarterback over here, you could pair him up with a running back, run it back with Justin Jefferson, find your stack. It's the first stack here. It's 22-3, not very expensive, and then you just put it to what percentage you want, 10%, whatever, that's fine. Okay. And then if you go back here, you can also check your player pool and see where Goff is being rostered. and he's only being rostered at 6%. So you can then leverage how much of the stack you want to be in your total. I'm going to do 150 builds in this just because it's kind of a standard.
Here's my problem with Goff.
Yes.
And it's echoed here with the only 2% optimal rate for how often he's going to show up in optimal lineups. Is Derek Carr is only $100 more than Jared Goff this week, and I think that's why we're seeing such a low level of optimal plays for Jared Goff, because even if he game stack in this game does shoot out, I still think Derek Carr at $100 more is more likely to pop off for the big game against his opponent. So yeah, we'll get to the Raiders game, but I do believe that Goff is his ability to show up in a Millie Maker winner or a GPP winner is very capped by Derek Carr being right above him.
I agree with you on that. That's a good call. Let's talk about this game briefly, because I think this is more of a select few players that you're going to play. David Montgomery and then Dameon Pierce are the two that I'm thinking of off the top of my head. I'm not comfortable playing anybody else. Maybe Brandon Cooks, but maybe not. What about you? Anybody else you want to play in this matchup at all?
Sheesh.
It's gross. It's not optimal.
It might be a good leverage week for Justin Fields, because no matter how bad he's played the first 2 weeks, they know how bad they played. They know they didn't throw the ball enough. They know they didn't let Justin Fields leave the pocket enough on design, waggle, and roll out plays. And I think Justin Fields always has a chance to score 25, 30 points at a quarterback position when nobody's going to have him rostered. Like nobody. That's going to be really interesting for me, as if he's a really, like, your 150 max, your large field GPPs. He's a wonderful quarterback at 5,600 because of that upside and against a horrible Texans defense.
Yeah, terrible, horrible, no good, rotten Texas.
Fields was bad the first 2 weeks, but he played two good defenses. So we do have to give him somewhat of a pass on, obviously, the deluge that he played in week 1 against a tough 49ers defense. And then last week, the Packers got lit up by Minnesota, but it was also like we saw how good Minnesota could be. And Packers last week showed us how good they could be when they just put the clamps on Fields.
Yeah,
I think this Bears offense is going to improve as the season goes along, and it might start here against a really cupcake Houston Texans defense compared to the first two they just played.
A real different situation, and also you get to be at home. This total, though, is gross, and I mean, I know they're going to cut to it. Scott Hansen will cut to it in the fourth quarter. It'll be 13-3 Bears over Houston.
I hope not. I hope it's 27 to like 10 or something like that.
I don't know. It's just it has gross written all over it. Let's jump to
yeah, very, very possible.
Does not have gross. I might play a defense from this game. Let's talk about a game that does not have gross written all over it. That actually has. I think Washington has been, as Denny Carter would say, has been owned by Philadelphia, and their fans in the stands have been owned by them too.
I bet you they'd rather be owned by the Eagles than Dan Snyder.
Oh my God! Oh well, this weekend
Jeffrey Lurie just takes on another team.
I'm all for it. Being a local guy from the Washington D.C. area,
at least, I mean, Lurie's. I don't think there's a up or down to Jeffrey Lurie. Like, he seems to be a generally appreciated team owner compared to a lot of these other guys, including the team owner of the Dallas Cowboys that I have been rooting for my entire life. But Jeffrey Lurie is a good owner, and Dan Snyder is the worst. So if you're going to be owned by somebody other than Dan Snyder, I know they'd hate to say it's a rival of the Eagles caliber, but it's probably better than what they have now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that 100%. Well, let's talk about some plays in this game that are optimal, not suboptimal, but that are optimal. Jalen Hurts is a must this week.
Yes. In
all formats.
Yes.
We didn't play him in the clash because, we had to put some other players in to really make sure that we beat each
other. He was
other.
the first one I highlighted because I wanted, you know me, I was looking for that A.J. Brown stack. And then when I started shaking it down after I built the Hurts Brown stack, is I didn't like my ancillary players quite as much.
Yeah.
And then I started playing with different quarterbacks. Like we went over Cousins and Goff and even Fields. Then I got to this game and I was like, well, I want the Hurts Brown stack, but I'll settle for Brown if I can get Mariota, which is like Hurts light, very light, very light Jalen Hurts version in Mariota.
Yeah,
because I already knew I was going to play Pitts at his price. And so what I turned it into was from a Hurts Brown stack to a Mariota London Pitts stack for the Clash. And it was for me, it worked better because I could also put AJ Brown in there. That was the kicker was if I was going to go down and play a cheaper stack, I still wanted to keep AJ Brown in there because I think the dude's going to absolutely own the Commanders in the middle of the field.
You know what?
This is for Craig. I hope you have a nice frosty shower beer in your shower, and I hope that my voice soothes you just as the water caresses your body. And don't get soap in your eyes, Craig. It really stings.
You know, I gotta say, there's a lot going on in the shower tonight. Also, apparently, people have not seen what's going on Twitter, and so I'm gonna try to share what's going on real quick. I'm gonna change the screen and share a different screen, different Chrome tab here. Let's see if this is, yeah. So, I mean, listen.
Yeah, you actually would you force Cooter Doodle to think about deactivating your account, which I would unfollow you and block you if you were the reason why the best Twitter account in the business on the entire website.
She was telling me that I needed to do that.
No.
She
was saying that your picture was driving her to deactivate her account so she could go gouge her eyes out.
You know what? I don't blame her. But this does.
I would blame you I would block your ass if Cooter Doodle deactivated.
I would
for
block
any reason.
My ass too. I do a double block.
My wife said that if she ever did get a Twitter, which is very unlikely, that she wouldn't even follow me. She would only follow one account, and she said it would be Cooter Doodle. So that tells you what Twitter game she has. And if anybody out there forces her to deactivate her account, I will find you and I will end you.
Well, if it's because of me, then I am the most powerful man on the internet. Then, and you've all been warned. Because I can bring down nations if that's the case. Because that woman is a saint. I can't believe I'd be super villain 101 right away, and that's not what I want. But the die is cast if that's what happens. But it's all Peter Howdy's fault. He put that picture out there from 2 years ago. It wasn't. I didn't put it back out there today. Peter Howard.
T King Mode. Troy, our best friend Troy, called him out on having it saved, probably in his favorites folder because he conjured it so fast.
Right away. As soon as listen, I can smell Peter Howard's teeth from here. That's fine. In the outer
bloody
bank.
hell, bloody hell.
He's in Kentucky, so Anyway, I do appreciate it all. Let's get back to what we're here for. That's winning DFS millions, right? I really do like AJ Brown. If you're game stacking, Curtis Samuel so far, 20 targets, 15 receptions, 130 yards, 43 points. I like what I see in this offense too, because they've got somebody who sucks and turns the ball over. They got to keep throwing the football.
Yeah, so I am off Curtis Samuel for one reason. I'm on Jahan Dotson as a run back instead. He's cheaper. That. He's much less chalky, and I believe he's going to
that chalk.
So Curtis Samuel's too chalky. McLaurin's amazing. If McLaurin was cheaper, I'd play a lot more of him, but he's for me, it's just a tournament play at this point for a couple lineups. But Jahan Dotson is one of my favorite value plays, wide receiver, sub 5K at 4,600. He's going to play James Bradbury a lot.
Oh, the old Brad.
Yeah, so you're going to have Terry McLaurin's going to catch the Darius Slay matchup, which is great. That's going to be must-see TV because those two guys are just absolute technicians on both sides. When it comes down to the other side, the Z receiver where Jahan Dotson plays, because Samuel's in the slot, Dotson's the Z. He's off the line of scrimmage, and James Bradbury is great. But Dotson's really good, and he could make some really big plays in this game. So I'm going to be way more heavily invested in Jahan Dotson than I will be in Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. What do you think about Logan Thomas at 3,500? Is he going to be getting more of the target share at all? Is he ever going to shift away from the receivers to the tight ends, or is Carson Wentz kind of only eyes for you when it comes to short little wide receivers?
Well, Thomas is you're going to want a little bit of Thomas, like 1/10 of your lineups could be a Logan Thomas lineups because he's only 3,500, and he scores a touchdown every 3-4 weeks.
No, he does. Get you
And so if you get him when he's targeted in the end zone like he was in week 1, then you can catch a good Logan Thomas game of 15-20 points, and that would pay off big for you. I wouldn't stack him with him. I just I have 3,500 left. Tight end's the last one I'm stuck on. Logan Thomas is one of those good picks for that scenario.
I thought about that today when I put in one of my GPP lineups in the 50-cent tournament where I have the 150 lineups, and I went Logan Thomas at 3,500 over a few different receiving options. I just thought in this game, if he is under duress, Carson Wentz might look to his tight end quickly in the middle of the field, just because he's a bigger target too. He hasn't gone to him yet. He had 10 points last week, but not extensively yet. But we'll see.
I want to see more volume for him. So far, the volume has been going to Curtis Samuel and Gibson out of the backfield. So.
Totally GPP dependent. I'm not cash giving him at all. He's GPP all over him. Speaking of another tight end who's got cash, GPP, everything written all over him, Travis Kelce, 7,900. He's priced up, but not that he hasn't been before.
He's
but
good.
They soft rolled him a little bit at the beginning of the year. 7,100, 7,200. And all of a sudden they're like, I got you, bitch, 7,900.
So Kelce had a down game last week. Only scored 10 points. He was still their leading receiver. So that should tell you the state of the wide receiver position for Kansas City, which is
too. It's not great.
It's bad, and then it got hurt on top of it. So Kelce in a quasi bounce back, where his disappointing floor game was a 10-pointer. So yes, he didn't pay off last week, but he also didn't kill you either.
No, pay up for Kelce. I'm not. Yes. I mean, listen, Mark Andrews is 6,900. Those are your two big options if you're paying up for a tight end, and I think they're both.
If I'm rostering Patrick Mahomes, it's only going to be to pair him with Kelce and move on.
Yeah. I'll say Andrews, you do not have to stack, but you can, and Lamar, you can play naked. So there's different ways that you just approach playing these different plays. Where Mahomes, you do want to put him with Kelce. There's just
the best plays are the best plays.
You've got to think outside the box, inside the box. Speaking of that, we're talking about that game right now. What do you think about the running back situation here? In the past, not last week or the week before, but in the past, the old Indianapolis Colts have been able to run the football on teams, and KC has given up yards to the running back, not necessarily touchdowns or but yards. What do you think about JT? Is he bouncing back, or is Indy just kind of utterly helpless? They don't look good with Matt Ryan under center. No offense.
Well, the first game they looked crappy, and it was more because the passing game was funneled too narrow. Like Michael Pittman got so many targets, and nobody else really got any. And so they became
down. So I mean,
the Alec Pierce thing was just tragic. Yeah. Matt Ryan looked okay in the first game. They obviously didn't win. They tied. And then last week they looked abysmal because Michael Pittman was out, and JT still did fine, but he hasn't had that big breakout home run ball JT game like he had a bunch of last year, where JT's really boom or bust every week. And he's had 2 bust weeks, which are still 15 points. that's what you got with JT, is he's just so solid. But he hasn't had his breakout game yet. And Pittman being back this week is really helpful for Matt Ryan, because that's his alpha. That's the guy that he's looking for on every play. Mm-hmm. And that offense really does go through Pittman just as much as it goes through JT.
6,900 for Pittman is nice, real nice.
Especially when it looks like the chalk from week 1, where he was super underpriced, is gone because he missed last week.
Yeah, 5% roster right now, where you got Juju,
and he's 6,900.
No, I gotta go back on the thing. Hold on, 1, 2, yeah. There we go. It was just I gotta do it again. So, I was in the other. I was in the other bank. I was in the NFL bank. I was in this one.
In my opinion, that sucked.
So sorry, I click on the uptake. My bad. Managing the board without a board, I have my board, but without the other window and everything. It's a
it's
whole
tough.
other program here. All right, let's talk about Juju. All right, we're done.
No.
What about? Okay, good. Let's go to the next game. Let's pull a stack actually, because stacks are what we're really.
He's the least optimal player leverage wise in the league right now. This week is the negative leverage for Juju Smith-Schuster is at an unprecedented level.
It's optimal. The negative leverage is optimal. Or
means that everybody's playing him and he's not going to do anything because he's Juju.
I can't believe they're going to do that. A hex on their homes, because that's just the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
Let them. Let the masses chalk themselves to death.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Right.
Those are the people standing in the way of our money. So let them have at Juju Smith-Schuster. Good Lord, gross.
Hey, you know what? Listen, no offense to the Podfather. Denny Carter tells me he's a great guy and he's friends with him. Like the shout out.
Yeah, he said he was the next Cooper Cup.
Right, he's the next Cooper Cup. Listen. I got a little bit of beachfront property in Kansas that I want to sell you that lives right next door to Cooper Cup. I gotta tell you. Yeah. So, Podfather, you interested? Let me know. We'll hook it up. But Juju, I like how Craig said Juju is Juju.
Yeah.
Hey, that's it.
And there's so many great analysts that just love Juju Smith-Schuster because they're just stuck in the past of when he was good. It's not the same guy anymore, guys. No. We've seen this for 3 years now. He's not the same guy.
Yeah, ever since he TikToked himself over,
But he's 25 and he plays like he's 35.
Yeah,
he looks like very end stage of Larry Fitzgerald out there, which is good, but it's not what you play in DFS.
No, I'm not in the Juju business. Even if he gets a touchdown here and there, I'm not paying up. Let's talk about Christian McCaffrey. Is he worth paying up for in the Carolina New Orleans matchup? This doesn't look good for him so far. His usage is down. His targets are down. He's not Christian McCaffrey, honestly.
Yeah, so far he's not. But yes, I'm still gonna have some Christian McCaffrey. So moving on, I'll also have some Alvin Kamara if he's on the board still, if he's playing with the ribs.
Yeah, you want to build an Olave stack here with a little Kamara run back? Yeah.
I'm playing a lot of Saints this week, and I already said that earlier. I think I said it last night on the SGPN show. I'm playing the Saints because nobody's going to have them, and Carolina sucks. Like they looked awful the first 2 weeks. Matt Rule is not a good coach.
No,
and we already knew that.
Terrible head
but
coach.
He's not helping himself build up a better image when they can't win games and they have a decent roster. It's just sad to see a talented roster like Carolina just go to shit because their coach is an idiot.
Yeah. Moving on to coaches I think that are not idiots. In Robert Saleh, am I saying that correctly? Or
Salah,
Robert Salah, and then Zach Taylor. Both are cutting edge, younger, next generation guys, not old farts.
They're both kind of hot seedy this year, though.
But I mean, one went to the Super Bowl. 0-2. Don't say hot seedy yet. I mean, come on. But yeah, Salah, yes, more so. But he's got
the fans really don't have much patience for Zach Taylor, from what I've seen.
You know what? Cincinnati doesn't have Boomer Science anymore. They should just shut the fuck up and let Joe Burrow, Zach Taylor enjoy the.
Joe Burrow is amazing, guys.
Oh,
if you don't appreciate Joe Burrow,
yeah, but they're not old enough, most of them, to remember Boomer, and I am.
They probably don't even remember Jeff Blake.
No, they probably don't. Oh my goodness. Random.
That was
Bengals
for me. That was growing up. The Bengals were Boomer to Jeff Blake to Carson. Carson, what's it?
No, you're not. Yeah, it's yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah, I can see his face now. The ginger. Yeah. It was all true.
It's gone.
All right, it's gone. Who cares? They're so shitty. It didn't matter. But speaking of shitty, so far Joe Flacco's on the ball 103 times so far. That is insane.
It's hilarious.
They don't want.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And for last week, it worked.
Carson Palmer.
Yeah, Carson Palmer. I knew his name was Carson.
Yeah, it was. I was trying to pull the last name too.
Yeah, you looked at your hand. You're like Palmer. it came to you.
Yeah, it's red from Smith.
Carson Rosie Palmer.
Yeah. But in this matchup, you have Jets wide receivers that are at the most expensive, $5,400. And then you got, Elijah Moore, 5,000, 4,900 for Corey Davis. A little banged up though. I'm not leaning him this week. How are you playing the Jets wide receivers this week?
This is the funny thing is I think I want a 3x2 stack of this game. I want the Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase with both Elijah and Garrett Wilson. I just think that if the points are going to be scored, it's going to be through the air. Both these teams are passing more than they're running by quite a margin this season.
Well, the offensive line for the Bengals is a sieve, so they got to get the ball out quick.
Right. And it's just that's why Joe Mixon's getting so much work. He's a great play this week. We've been over him quite a bit this week. As a great solid play with plenty of upside. He's a good player, and he's on an offense that's facing a defense that hasn't stopped anybody yet. The Jets defense looks awful, like we all predicted, but they're going to give it up. They're going to give it up through the air and on the ground. But for the Bengals, they're 0-2. They don't want to lose this game.
Big time. Don't want to lose this game.
Like the Jets lose, it's like, oh, whatever. They lost to the AFC champs. And the Bengals lose, like, oh shit, the AFC champs are 0-3 now.
And he would have lost so far to Mitch Trubisky, and then Cooper Rush, and then Joe Flacco. So
yikes.
Just like we said. All right. Well,
and even then, they'll probably still be fine at the end of the year.
Right. No pain, no gain. What about this next matchup here? Is Derrick Henry salvageable at this point? I mean,
against the Raiders, he is.
I'm wondering, right? Because the Raiders they have a pass rush, but they don't have a defense to stop anybody from the run.
Yeah, they are like you said, they're not a good defense, and they stopped the Cardinals pretty well, but a lot of that came from James Conner not being there. So for me, it was kind of like, okay, the Raiders are okay at stopping the run, but Derrick Henry has a lot to prove now after 2 straight where he scored a touchdown last week to save us and get double digits barely. For me, Derrick Henry's still a good player, and he's still going to have lots of touchdown upside. He's still going to be a home run hitter. We haven't seen it yet, which is concerning everybody because Derrick Henry doesn't pay off through the passing game. He pays off through his humongous 200-yard games from breaking off 2 long touchdown runs, and then the rest of it's volume work that we've seen already this year.
I love it. We got the math magician in the comments, Jordan Vanek.
Jeez,
one of the smartest people.
This guy, Jordan Vanek, is the fastest rising star.
Love this guy.
Like his first real gig on camera is right here on this show, and we're just blown away by this kid's intelligence, his maturity, and he's on the 33rd team now that they won't even hire me, guys. The 33rd team only hires the cream of the crop, and he was the first one in with Josh Larkey. Josh Larkey looked at the landscape building that team, and then he was like, very first thing I'm doing is I'm getting a hold of Jordan Vanek, because that's just what smart people do, is they find other people that are just geniuses. Jordan Vanek out there, dude. If you don't follow Jordan Vanek, you are losing.
Get your shit together. What I love is that Mike didn't know what Jordan Vanek looked like, and so he followed Jordan Vanek on Twitter. He loved him. He was talking to Jordan, and then he started to put it together, and he was like, "Holy shit, you are Jordan Vanek!"
Right.
And I was like, "Yeah." We were sitting there next to him. I was like, "Yeah, yes, it's Jordan." And he's just like, "Oh my gosh." And then we started getting DFS in the weeds with him, and I think I rolled out to get a sandwich or something. But it was really cool to hang out with him. And next year, how about this? The 3 of us, we can run that DFS workshop at the expo. We can get a little better strategies than what we're handed out.
Yeah, I mean, we appreciated the information that they were giving at the expo at the DFS part of it.
Yeah,
but Jordan and I were looking at each other at a few times. And we're like, "Oh man, what about this? What about this?" It's like, "Oh, but that's not entirely true." I realize there's a lot to cover in that short amount of time for DFS because there's so many layers to it. But it was funny because I was sitting next to Jordan and we were both just like, "Oh, come on, we want to know about this and this. Why aren't you talking about this?"
A little deeper further in,
or just like burrow into one thing and get really detailed with it and just screw the rest of it because you're not going to cover all the information. But they made it interesting. But Jordan and I definitely could have done a better job leading that group and having different people from different companies that aren't big ones. That's really key because some of the best DFS minds are at smaller outfits.
Well, I mean, Jordan's not going to be a smaller outfit anymore. He's not.
No.
Yeah,
no.
He was not anymore. No, yeah,
he's
sure.
I think it's nice that he's tuning in still to the show.
Good man.
Because it's not, he hasn't gotten too big for his britches yet. I don't expect him to. He's a really humble guy.
He had the best backgrounds. My favorite was when he would change his backgrounds every time.
He would fade out and do the beams in the back. Oh my god, dude. That was some of the best entertainment we've ever had on the show. It's just him going in and yes. Oh yeah.
Oh my god. This is hilarious. Yeah. Oh man, this is perfect. I did build a stack and all that talk. I put a Devontae Adams with Derrick Henry just because if he's going to do something, I mean, I'm not big on paying up for Derrick Henry this week really at all. But Adams, no Hunter Renfrow. Waller's going to be in play too. What about Zamir White? I saw Derek Brown, one of our favorite friends. He said, "I am not eating any chalk." No. On Zamir White. I love seeing that beforehand.
If it was a better matchup, I suppose I would want a little bit of Zamir because he is a value, but I really don't see the upside this week. I don't see him being like a game-breaking DFS play. He's a solid player. He's going to be in his first NFL start this week, and it's going to be interesting without Josh Jacobs what this offense can look like. It's really tough because he's going to pick up some chalk because he's the only show in town. Him and Brandon Bolden, who's probably not going to play, and Amir Abdullah. We've seen both of those guys hit the waiver wire hard today. Amir Abdullah and Zamir White are going to eat into each other, and I think this Raiders team is going to air it. They're going to air it out, especially without Renfrow. Renfrow's out too. So Devontae and Waller are really in play here because I do think the passing volume picks up for the Raiders without Jacobs.
I'm gonna do a little onslaught stack. Just you can do those, kids. Don't be afraid. 20,000 for an onslaught for these three. Oh my gosh, dude! We might just
like we said. I believe Carr is just as likely to be optimal as any other quarterback here.
This is breaking news, folks. Derek Carr has 2 targets. Optimal. Okay. All right. Well, this is making me hard. I mean, this is hard to understand. All right. Let's go. Oh no. I'm having so much fun. If you haven't turned to me yet, I've had sex 4 times at the beach this week. It's been great. I've only been here 5 days. So anyway, do the math. That's 80%.
Congrats.
Thank you on the sex. All right, let's talk about the Ravens going into New England and the fact that they've got really still the same secondary they had last week that gave up, score after score, come back, 70-point total. And now we're at 44. Low game. Mac Jones is going to do his thing. It's not going to be a big, huge game, but I think that there is a little bit more to this game than 44 points. What do you think?
No, I think Baltimore handles them. And they don't have to be. Kind of like with the game they had for week 1, where New England they held Miami's offense pretty well, 20 points, but one of those scores was on a pick 6. So you had only one offensive touchdown week 1 by the Miami Dolphins, who went off last week, and Baltimore, I think, is a similar offense that can go in and move the ball and move the chains, but maybe not score at a really fast clip like what the Patriots did with the Dolphins in week 1. I do think that Baltimore is going to stay in range, but they're going to stay ahead. And I think it'll be like 38 game. I think a 38-40 game is more what I'm expecting here, like 20-17, 23-20, something like that.
I understand that notion, but I feel like with Lamar Jackson, the pace of this game is going to be quickened, and it just I think Bill Belichick is going to be a little bit less Bill Belichick. I think that his son is it Brian Belichick? Who's
Steve.
that guy? Steve. Yeah, you know.
I caught myself doing that exact same thing in my office yesterday, and I was like, "Good Lord, I am just Steve Belichick without a mullet." I was that.
So I'm watching to see. I think the game will go off the rails a little bit, honestly. Lamar, though, I'm not really playing a lot of Lamar this week at 8K. It's just he priced him up. He was cheap before, and now he's the second most priced up quarterback behind Josh Allen. That's fine. I'm not going to have as much, but if I do have him, he will either be naked or he'll be with Mark Andrews. You are advocating though for a little different. I love this. You talked to me about it earlier. Who's your guy to stack him up with? And we'll build a stack real quick.
It's Rashad Bateman. He's just he's growing in popularity with Lamar Jackson. He trusts him a lot more with every passing game. This is a special player. Rashad Bateman is a special wide receiver, and he's going to keep showing it, and he's going to keep rising up in the snap share and routes run percentage. And with the efficiency that Lamar Jackson is finding guys for big plays and touchdowns, it's historic right now. How few plays between touchdowns and passes that Lamar Jackson requires to score points.
Very efficient.
It's a work of art. And Rashad Bateman is the second leading recipient of that direct stream of touchdown making plays. And that's why we've seen a 55-yard touchdown in week 1 from Bateman and a 75-yard touchdown last week for Rashad Bateman. He's a home run hitter who can also play the long game. So if this game is a little slower, like I think, you're still going to see a centralized channel of targets for Bateman and Andrews. Those are the only two guys that they can trust through the air on every play basis. Of course, you're going to get broken coverages and stuff like that can let other people score touchdowns. But the Ravens receivers are as reliable as they come, especially if Bateman starts to see more of those routes run that we want to see from a guy of his talent.
Yeah, I think the increased routes run will come, and I think that when that does come, his production will increase as well because he's super efficient, and he's got two 50-yard passes. Is that right? In 2 weeks, and you just see
55 and 75.
Yeah, holy shit, that's a lot. I like
and
that.
And the 75 was against All-Pro Xavier Howard. He absolutely
ran by him. He ran by him like he was a child. He stayed in bounds the whole way too. All right, let's talk about somebody who can run by everybody, and he looks like a child sometimes. He's so small. Tyreek Hill. No one kill me, Tyreek Hill. I can't run away, but I'm probably bigger than you. But you're probably way stronger than me. But if I fell on you,
he's really strong.
If I fell on you, it'd be bad for you because I'm fat. And like, this guy's touching me. Why is he touching me?
Crime. Why is Tyreek Hill beating up this handicapped man?
Oh my gosh, is that a small child beating up a dwarf?
He is of a protected class.
Yeah.
Take it easy on him, Tyreek.
Not good at all.
Going viral for all the wrong reasons.
But let's talk about these are my two favorite wide receivers. They are priced up, priced down and projectioned up. But 7,700 for Diggs, 7,600 for Tyreek Hill. Argue me against building the stack right now.
Yes.
Talk me out of the stack. I mean,
that's your second mortgage stack. Josh Allen, the very top. Diggs, the 5th highest. Hill, the 6th highest. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I also like Waddle in there. I'll put a stack with Waddle in there a little bit too.
Hell yeah.
And then I'll go back and I'll build one over here with Tua too.
Tua, Waddle, Diggs, Tua, Hill, Diggs, Tua, Waddle, Hill, Diggs.
Yeah.
Do it.
We need and I don't know. We don't have right now. I don't see.
Need to add the other wide receiver for my stack though.
Yeah. Is it two? There we go.
Yeah, 2 wide receivers and 1. There you go. That's the one.
Yeah, it's sexy. It's sexy. Yeah. I'm big time in this. I'm not really going anywhere else. I'm not going Chase Edmonds. He's okay, 5,100. Not bad.
Nope. If anybody, Raheem Mostert for me.
Right, exactly. 4,500 price down, and he got more carries last week and seemed more efficient as well. Let's check out this game. The -7 still. What's going on here? I thought
It's
Herbert
minus 3.5 now.
It has not updated. Okay, let me refresh the Sims. Let's see if the Sims can be refreshed. If they've updated. Oh, I got Bo's being attacked by his dog. Bo, are you alive still?
No, that's Rosie's separation anxiety when Addison gets the mail.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that
She's
happens.
quite vocal. Quite vocal.
I mean, it sounds like a hate.
Oh, it's only minus 3 now.
Oh,
damn. That
no.
line moved 4 points. So there's a lot of money putting in that Justin Herbert's not playing.
Yeah, that's not good. That is
not good.
That is bad. That is not happening for us.
But here you go. If Herbert is playing, then you have to play him. Like he's in a smash spot this week.
Oh, for sure. It looks like though the money is trending. He's not. Do you want to play Christian Kirk? Sal Betry are arguing elite usage in the red zone. No. 5 red zone opportunities. He only saw 10 last year.
No, he's overpriced, and he's playing. He's finally not playing a high school level slot corner. So
this game's getting uglier and uglier if Justin Herbert does not play.
J-Rob, the Chargers are still kind of weak up the middle against the run.
Yeah, so we
saw CEH gash them a few times. That's not like CEH. He's not good in between the tackles at all. So the fact that he was gashing this defense leads me to believe that if you get a guy like J-Rob who's really smart and has good timing to his runs and can find the right hole at the right time,
yeah,
that's what she said.
Yeah, that's what she said. Pause.
J-Rob and ETN for me are GPP plays because I think they have the upside to break some big plays against the Chargers.
Yeah, this is a hard game for me to play anything other but GPP plays because I don't have a lot of faith in the consistency of this gameplay, honestly. And GPP is what I'm looking for in these games, that there's a volatility and you don't know what's going to happen. Defense, Jacksonville's defense. There you go. Boom. Leverage, baby.
2,300. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Let's see how many people are on it. Only 5%. That's not bad.
We're both playing them. We're both, but since we started looking at it, we looked at it and we were like Jacksonville. that was the whole thought process. We were looking at the bottom of the board. Which one's under 2,500? Jeez. Which one's under?
Wasn't like Jacksonville.
She's stressed out.
Yeah, get the mail already, bro. Come on, calm down. Well, I'll say a game that is not going to stress me out. And that's going to be the Arizona Cardinals hosting the LA Rams. This is a game I've been looking forward to. LA got Stafford back on track last week, scored over 20 points. Kyler Murray, electric.
And he's half as chalky against a worse secondary. What sense does this make?
I don't understand.
We were off the Ram stack last week because they were going to be so chalky. And now they actually do well. And you're going to be half as chalky. Thank you for the free money.
I played Stafford and wrote about him as my second quarterback.
Of course,
in my GPP plays.
6,500 for a guy playing the Arizona secondary. Are you kidding?
Arizona gives it up, dude. Like a fat guy at a barbecue. He just gives it up.
Yeah, risk it all. Risk it all.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's not even close.
No limits to the barbecue I will ingest.
Here's what I said: you have a 3-course menu with them. You can go, and I'm just going to talk just the Rams. You can go pay up for Cooper Kupp, which I would do. That's what I would do, honestly. Then you can pay down a little bit more for Robinson at 5,700, and then you can
love the Robinson play.
Love that.
Oh my god, 5,700 for A-Rob.
It's crazy.
Yes, please.
Only 2% projected rostership. 2%.
Oh, I will have so much Allen Robinson this week, and I mean a lot of like 50-60% Allen Robinson.
Pause Allen Robinson.
Like I'm half mast right now talking about this Allen Robinson spot.
There's a lot of pausing we're gonna have to do after the show.
Sorry, I just love the play so much. I'm getting emotional.
You are a lover, Bo, and that's what I love about you. Let's say if you do want to get down to the bargain basement, you have a Tyler Higbee at 4,500. There could be some upside in that, but I'm not chasing it. Yeah, I'm not chasing it. What about on
Higbee's
the
a $3,500 play. Him at 45 is a crime.
yeah? On the other side, you got it's not looking great. You got Dortch. That's a Dortch.
Yes.
I like Zach Ertz. I do like Zach Ertz at 4,600. There'll be
I love
opportunity for him
Dortch.
for sure. Yeah, Dortch
Give me
and
all the Dortch.
give you the Dortch.
5% Dortch.
Yeah, I take the 5% Dortch. You know, it's not that much Dortch. So,
Yep.
yeah. All right, let's talk about two more games and we're out. These games are lower scoring, 42 total points for both these games.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
Give me
Atlanta.
the over in that game, though, because I do think Atlanta has a pop-off type game where they finally use Kyle Pitts.
Look at the points per dollar value of Mariota. It's gross. It's gross. $3.
And hey, Geno Smith here's a really wild idea. Geno Smith stacked with DK Metcalf, and then having London and Pitts, or London and Cordero Patterson, or Pitts and Patterson as a little game stack in case this one pops off. Neither defense is that great. I do think Atlanta's defense matches up well for what Seattle does have. They're kind of strong in the interior with Grady Jarrett, and their outside corners are Casey Hayward and AJ Terrell. So they're strong on the outside against X and Z receivers, which you have Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf at those positions. So those guys are going to have some tough coverage. The rest of the guys are going to be running free.
Yeah. Well, here's what's crazy is that the most expensive player on the whole board is $6,100. Like this, I don't think you understand. Like that's not normal.
And nobody's chalky.
Let's look at all the other games. 99.
This is your secret shootout stack game.
8,800.
Top secret.
8,200.
Top secret.
84.
Top secret.
81.
Sneaky shootout stack game.
88.
Write it down.
90.
Build your lineups. I swear to God, if you don't build any stacks around this game, I'm going to be pissed off at you.
76.
And I'm going to heckle you through the DMs.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about Houston level of disrespect to these two teams.
That's fine.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
It's actually quite great.
I like that. It is
Quite nice, actually. I'm quite liking that underappreciation for this game.
You're accepting this. I like the first stage is acceptance. So let's build a stack here.
Next game is going to be so bad that we might as well spend extra time on this one.
Oh man. Yes, it will be. It'll be a low scoring affair. I believe it does not get over 42. Green Bay does win this game, I think. Oh, okay. So
17 to 14.
11 to 12. Okay, so here I've got the Marcus Mariota, DK, Drake, and Kyle Pitts stack.
Ooh,
Not
yeah,
great.
baby.
200. I also have the Tyler
3% on the other ones.
Yeah, 2-3. Yeah, 3% on there. I don't want Zacchaeus or Olamide or any of those other guys in there.
Who?
Bo.
Yeah, that's it. Those are the ones.
That's it. That's all the stacks we're doing.
Oh, you did throw in a Patterson one? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I forgot Patterson when you got a Patterson up here. Yeah,
I think Patterson's got a good game.
Is he technically a running back?
Yes, he's a running back now.
Now he is a running back. Okay, yes. Okay, we got him. Yeah, right there. Okay, get a little Tyler Lockett too. All right, spot on.
Jolio.
All right, Jolio indeed. All right, last game of the day. It's not the best.
Ugh.
Oh, I mean the only
two NFC teams with no healthy or active wide receivers.
I mean Leonard Fournette, dude, he's not healthy, but he looks to be.
But
optimal.
this is the Super Bowl champion Hall of Fame quarterbacks from NorCal showdown.
It is. Have they played recently? If it wasn't since the playoffs,
they play almost every year in the playoffs.
No, they didn't play last year in the playoffs because they got kicked out by different teams. They got kicked out by the Rams and the Niners. So this is the first matchup since they lost, and this is going to be in Tampa, not in Green Bay. So this is great. This is big. And he's throwing to Russell Gage, Tom Brady, and maybe
Rashad Perryman, and Scotty Miller, and Cameron Brate.
This is gross. If Tom Brady knew this was going to happen, I mean, did his wife leave him? Yeah. Is that what really happened? Is that?
I don't think so, but I'm sure he's going through other midlife crises. I mean, it kind of all snowballs at once, whether you're Tom Brady or yours truly.
anybody could get into the bad times. What do you think about Aaron Jones in this matchup, though? It could be just a dual running back, Aaron Jones and Leonard Fournette situation. That might be the only way you play this game.
Correct. I would agree with that.
Pull a stack then. Pull a run.
Oh, and Romeo Dobbs. I want a little bit of Romeo Dobbs.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna build this little sexy stack here first, and then I'll go back in here and I will change it to Dobbs. Dobbs. You get that Dobbs down in your heart. Yeah. All right. Let's generate the lineups. But we don't want to build one. Hold on. It's
you gotta change it.
I forgot.
Can't take you anywhere.
Hut, Blue
Running
42.
the Sims, one of the most thrilling experiences in the industry.
They like OJ Howard.
What do you know? The Sims love our Jalen Hurts love.
Well, I don't like the Jake Kumaro, Marvin Jones, OJ Howard.
OJ Howard, disgusting.
Grossest.
Why are the Jets defense popping up so much? That doesn't make any sense.
I need to go get rid of OJ Howard exposure because they're really they're OJ Howarding me to.
It's not gonna happen. Oh, and block the Jets defense.
That's... I'm trying to send a letter to Rosalie, and I got.
Are they putting the Jets defense in there?
I just need to know what to write.
I'll help you after the show.
Yeah. Does she know we're technically talking right this second about?
Yeah, she doesn't care. She doesn't care.
Yeah, it's sad. That's sad because this is win her a lot more money. You know,
she's writing a letter to her friend, and she has a stamp on there. She just needs to know where to write, what to write in the middle and up in the top left corner.
Oh man,
we've done this a lot of times before, so I'm pretty sure if she tries, she can remember what
she can figure it out. Right. Now she'll get there. You know, the internet is a beautiful thing too. All right, OJ Howard's in less, and I like the ones they put Juwan Howard and OJ Howard, or Juwan Johnson and OJ Howard in.
I thought you blocked OJ Howard. He's still there.
I put him in 10%, and he's in every single lineup. It's still.
I wouldn't have him in 0%. Why would you even have him?
Okay, well, let me go back and ungenerate him. And I don't know why. I mean, I didn't go through and get rid of everybody who I can get rid of. I want him out of. I don't want him a lock. I want him out. All right, now he's gone. We'll regenerate, and no OJ Howard. That's just a gross.
Watch now, he's going to score twice. Yeah. That's Murphy's law. So if you want to fade that pick and go and get and hedge it with a little bit of OJ Howard, just in case we're the kiss of death, go for it.
Okay, so they like Jake Kumaro a lot, apparently. Yeah, apparently that's their favorite guy.
Why?
I don't know. He's in all their because I think Gabe Davis. I think he might not play.
Yeah,
but
here's
a lineup.
Even if he does play.
How about this lineup? Jalen Hurts, Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey, Romeo Dobbs. Get rid of Jake Kumaro, Cooper Kupp, Hunter Henry, Kyle Pitts. Oh, and the New York Jets.
Yeah, it needs work.
It does need work. We're going to play around here more and run the Sims. But where can people find you and your work as you are crushing the internet these days?
You can find me on this Twitter right here, Bo_McBigTime. There's a link to my link tree, which is a bunch of links about links, and links are on links about everything I'm working on, from the food specter to hearing care providing to, of course, fantasy football and DFS. So hit me up, Bo_McBigTime. And of course, go to my food website, bigtimeflavor.co. That is where you find the most deliciously intense condiment on planet Earth, Hot Box Gourmet Hot Sauce.
Yeah, it's all right here. The Big Time Flavor Co. is where you want to go, honestly. It's where all the good stuff is. Please do follow this man, Bo McBrayer, _.
You're pulling away. You got so many followers. I'm for some reason I'm stagnated, which I don't really care. It's not a big
it happens. Thing. It doesn't. It's it's not indicative.
But I also want more people to see what I'm doing.
I agree. I think what each. This is me, by the way. Nibble W Numbers and Justin Timberlake let me know that I ain't shit. You need to change that soon. I want to see your face on there again. I'll put my Ratcliffe picture back up there.
Yes, that's the best one.
Yeah,
that's an awesome one. Or some of the other ones you took while you were out.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I'm really excited to be able to Yeah. It's just- Craig killing it. I love
That is the best. Yes,
What a great
he's
way.
absolutely right.
Don't mess with OJ. That's the truth. We should have kept him in. If you find, if Bo and I don't survive the night, you know what happened.
He found us.
We got Howard. No, but Bo, you're crushing it too. You work at Fantasy Pros. You're going to be working with Jordan Vanek one day. Don't even pretend.
I have 3 weekly columns with them too at Fantasy Pros.
You're killing it, my friend. I do appreciate all the work you're doing here at Nimble W Numbers as well. We have Chalk Block. We've got the weekly show over at the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And then we also do the Beards and Bellies. And then you have your Hot Cash.
King of Spice.
King of Spice, the Hot Cash from the King of Spice. It is going to win you money. That's what you're going to do. And build your bankroll. That one. Yeah, cash money.
Cash homie.
Yeah. I love it. So go follow Bo, follow me. And we'll see you guys next week over at Chalk Block. And Bo, by the way, you are our bet.us, right? You have a promo code. What is your code? How can we connect there?
So it's a quick link. It's bit.ly/McBigTime. So bit.ly/McBigTime. And that'll get you 125% bonus to your first deposit. So if you put in $1,000, you're going to have $2,250 in your account from the deposit bonus.
Wow.
And that's a big, huge deposit bonus. Get you started betting. You can DM me for bets that I'm placing because until we vote to pass legalized sports betting in California in November, we have to go offshore. So I have to use places like Bovada or BetUS. And I partner with BetUS because they're friendly to us bettors in California that are just sick of having the government screw us over every year.
If that's not a rallying cry to join their freedom cause, I don't know what is. Gambling should be in a right. It should be in the Constitution.
Right.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Yeah, come on, get with the program, people. Gambling.
If it pleases the crown, may I use the money I've earned and already been taxed on to play a game of Risk?
No, how goddamn dare you? It better be a game of skill. And speaking of that, we're at TFS all through and through. Check us out on Sunday. And if you're interested, Bo and I are in a tournament every single week. We do a Chalk Block tournament. I won it last week. I got third the week before.
I got dead last, guys. It was not pretty last week.
It's dead sexy. So please ask.
My guys got hurt, guys. It sucks.
Well, you know what? That happens sometimes. But I appreciate you, Bo, and we will see you guys next time back here. Peace.